なんだろう、俺は毎日ベトナムコーヒーを、そんなにちっちゃいケーキやなんでそんなに高いの？何この音楽。皆さんこんにちは、リンディです。今はシンガポールに住んでいるんですけど、でも、5年前くらい家族は東京に住んでいて、私はまだ南アフリカで大学生だったから、たまに旅行して、なんか遊びに行ったりして、その時全部集めると1年ぐらい東京に住んでたっていうことですが、東京に住んでた時を繰り返すとなんかびっくりしたっていうことが結構あるから、この動画は英語と日本語でするからぜひ字幕をつけてください。じゃあ1つ目は Wi-Fi について話したいと思います。なんで東京で Wi-Fi を使うのがそんなに難しいかなと思います。なんか外国人は日本にいて旅行しながらWi-Fi が必要じゃん。Wi-Fi 使いたいとパスポートを使ってレジストレーションしてめっちゃイライラする。Like there's Tokyo Metro Wi-Fi which you can use and you can connect to it quickly on the train, but when your train is moving to the next station, there's no connection and you have to wait until 次の駅までフリー Wi-Fi が安く使わないっていうことだ。もちろんうちで Wi-Fi があったんですけど、なんか家を出ると全然ないから、それか like コネクションができることが難しくて、ちょっと2つ目はfood portions are generally small in Japan. I think it's good for people who want to maintain their weight. I am South African, so we have like average size portions, but my brother who lives in the States tells me that everything in the US is massive. So if you're coming from the States to Japan, you can expect your portions to be a lot smaller. 特にデザートとかケーキを注文すると、なんでそんなにちっちゃいのかなと思ったことが結構あったんです。高いからびっくりしました。なんかそんなにちっちゃいケーキやなんでそんなに高いのかなんだろうと思ったんです。Okay, number 3 is Japan is still a very strongly cash-based society. It is difficult to use cards and everything is really still done by cash. A lot of things are still done analog on paper. What is interesting about when you pay cash in Japan is that there are little trays on the counter and you put your money on the trays. All the transactions are done using this metal or wooden or stone tray that is on the counter. So you put your cash down and they tell you I'm receiving this, and it's quite a sweet, like a beautiful transaction. Like they say like 1000円をお預かりいたします, like I'm receiving 1,000 yen from you. So it's a very verbal paper cash-based transaction. Whereas right now where I live in Singapore, you just tap your card. Sometimes you don't even talk to the cashier. Sometimes it's done by yourself. Like the checkouts in the supermarkets are automated at times. All you do is you tap your card, you pack your own groceries, and you don't even need to talk to someone. 4番目は5時のチャイムっていうこと。東京に住んでて毎日5時ぐらいそのチャイムがあったから最初に何この音楽って考えたんですけど、なんでそのチャイムがあるのかと説明すれば検索してみて、昔5時になったらお家に帰ってくださいっていうチャイムなんですけど、今はちょっと日本の方は遅い時間まで働いててあんまり5時ぐらい帰らないんですけど、other people say they are testing the speakers in case they need to make natural disaster announcements. Some say that it used to be there to tell kids that it's 5 p.m. and it's time to go home after you've played outside. 違うかもしれないけど、ぜひなんでそのチャイムがあるのかな、ぜひコメントしてください。ちょっと気になってて、なんであるのかな知りたいと思います。But I just think it's like a really pleasant sound near the end of the day, and I just found it very sweet and calming. Okay, number 5 is impeccable recycling. If you live in Japan, you have to recycle. Like they will not come and take your trash if you haven't separated into different categories. For plastic bottles, you have to remove the label and remove the bottle cap and dispose of that separately. So the apartment we lived in had kind of a garbage room. There was a section for stacking magazines, another one was pet bottles, another one was cans, and then any food waste you put in your sink, and there's this machine that goes like and it eats your food waste, and anything else goes to the garbage room and it is impeccably recycled. So Japan does a great job with recycling. 6名は テープ。コンビニに行くと、例えば水とかペットボトルに入っているお茶とかコーヒーを買うと、バッグがいらないから、そのビニール箱がいらないから、ただこのボトルを買いたいと、必ずテープを貼くことです。なんでボトルにテープ貼くのかっていうと、このことを買ったっていうことを示すためにするんですけど、なんか最初になんでいつもテープを貼くのかな、全然知らなくて、今なるほどっていうこと、なんか it makes sense I guess, so that you don't look like you're stealing it and it's just an indication that you have purchased the item when you don't use a bag. Number 7, rules are adhered to so strictly. Everything in Japan works because there is a system of rules that people strictly adhere to, and it helps to have the system in which society functions in. However, sometimes it can be tricky to understand that these rules are set in place for a reason, and sometimes it's very, very hard to just bend the rules a little bit. お仕事のもう周りにあったカフェにいつも入って同じベトナムコーヒーを注文した私の父がいるんですけど、父はいつも同じコーヒーを注文して、今日もベトナムコーヒーですかっていうその関係があったんでしょう。で、そのポイントカードがあるんでしょう。なんか買うときスタンプして、そのスタンプを全部集めると、フリーコーヒーをもらうことができるでしょ。でもお父さんはそのスタンプを全部集めると、スタンプ全部あるからベトナムコーヒーくださいっていうしてお店で働いてる方はそのスタンプカードを見て、ごめんなさい、ちょっとベトナムコーヒーができなくて、代わりになんか普通のラテとかだけもらうことができるって言ったんですけど、お父さんはびっくりして、なんだろう、俺は毎日なんかベトナムコーヒーを注文するとなんでラテだけできるっていうか、でそのルールがあるから、そのポイントカードで普通のコーヒーとかなんかラテだけもらうことができるって書いてあるから、ベトナムコーヒー毎日飲めること全然関係がなくて、Like, you really have to follow these rules. It doesn't matter if you've been ordering the same thing. If the point card says you're getting a normal coffee, you cannot get a Vietnamese coffee. そんなにルールが大切にしている国です、日本は。Okay, number 8 is rules against taking photos. You have to be very careful if you take photos of someone in Japan. In addition, if you buy a phone in Japan, it comes with this really awful loud clicking sound on your camera. It's like chick. So if you take a photo of someone like on the metro, for example, people are gonna know that you took a photo. I think it is to stop people from taking photos of other people. Maybe, taking sneaky photos of women on the train is sometimes a big issue. So it makes sense. However, it is a little annoying if you're like in a museum or an art gallery and all you hear is like because people are taking photos of their phones. 次はフェイスカバー。フェイスカバー。いつもなんかドレスを買いたいと、なんかトライオンしたい時にいつも言われることは、フェイスカバーを使ってくださいって。フェイスカバーは何だろうと思って入って最初に何これと思って。If you have makeup on and you're trying a dress on and the makeup like smudges on the dress, that's really bad. So when you are in the dressing room, you put on the face cover first, you try it on, and then you can take the face cover off to check, put it back on, and then take the clothes off again. So I think that's very ingenious and smart. However, it gets a little tedious to have to like put on face covers the whole time, and it's a bit wasteful because it just generates like a one-time use of trash. That was something that was very, very interesting for me. 10番目は歩きながら食べれないことです。それとなんか like there are not a lot of trash cans in Japan. It is so hard, at least in Tokyo from my experience, it is so hard to find a bin. So you always carry your trash with you. It's very rude to walk and eat in the streets. So if you have something you want to eat, maybe if you're by a vending machine, you will stand to the side, finish your drink and put it in the vending machine. Bin disposal.
こんばんは。シシレモンは僕の一番好きなドリンクです。
Otherwise, you take your trash with you, but it is very rude to just walk in the street like chomping on something. So that is something that I had to get used to as well. I think it's fine to like take a few sips of water, but you're not there like walking with a hot dog, chewing it in the street. Well, those are some interesting things I experienced living in Japan. If you've experienced anything, just leave it in the comments. Let's talk about our experiences in Japan. And まあ今まで見てくれてありがとうございます。じゃあそれで次の動画へ見ましょう。皆さんバイバイ。